It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are still live with Expresso. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. Time now for, I think, a slightly difficult discussion. I think no one likes to envisage those worst-case scenarios, but in the event that you are in fact faced with an unforeseen illness like cancer, a heart attack, or even a stroke, you are going to need rock-solid cover in place to help you and your family weather that financial storm, so that you can then obviously focus on what's important, your recovery.
That's right. And this morning on our Health Focus show, we are taking a look at the importance of illness insurance and why this is something you need to consider. Please welcome Priya Naika, the Head of Strategic Retail Marketing from Old Mutual, to help us unpack exactly what illness insurance is all about. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, guys.
Such a cheerful chat.
I'm sorry.
Much, for getting us to think about our mortality like this. But that hits the nail on the head. We don't want to think about these things. No. We don't want to consider and put ourselves in that position of having a severe illness, but it can shake your very foundations. So maybe a good place to start would be with how you guys classify severe illness and what kind of cover do you offer for severe illness specifically?
Yeah, the first thing to understand is a severe illness is generally something that's serious enough that it will impact you quite severely for a short period of time, or potentially impact the rest of your life and the way you need to manage your health going forward. And so that can have a very direct impact on your finances, on the finances for your family and the provisions you make, the lifestyle you live. And severe illness cover is designed to buffer that impact so that you're not needing to take out debt, you're not needing to dip into your savings. And especially if you have young kids, you can still continue life as you've planned whilst you're battling that illness, and you have the funds to cover the cost.
Now, Graham mentioned cancer, stroke, heart attack earlier. What specific illnesses is under that umbrella of your illness insurance from Old Mutual?
There are actually hundreds of severe illnesses, and we find, the emergence of different types of illnesses. So there really are hundreds of illnesses that could impact someone's life over the course of their life. But what we've also found is that we call them the big four. There are 4 conditions that typically make up the majority of claims, and that is heart attack, cancer, stroke, and bypass graft. So those are the most common, but if you'd like to be comprehensively covered, you can be covered from anything from 100,000 all the way up to 6 million rand for illness cover.
I've got medical aid. I've got gap cover. Surely I'm fine. Surely I'm covered. Isn't that enough?
Often we think it's enough, and I think the differentiation here is that medical aid and gap cover is meant for the direct medical costs. So the time you're in hospital, the direct medical treatment, the tests, etc. What we don't realize is all of the indirect costs that come.
The money you're losing while you're not working. Yeah.
That's right. So it's the money you're losing. It's potentially needing a caregiver. If you think about someone who's having to have chemotherapy, you'd need to have a caregiver, or a partner would need to take time off work to be with you. You'd need to maybe have extra caregiving for your kids. You might even need rehabilitation therapy or alternative therapies that your medical aid is not covering. And that's where severe illness cover allows you to have options. It allows you to have the best possible chance of recovery and a normal life.
Okay. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking 5 years ago, I would have sat here and been like, I'm young, I exercise, I live a healthy lifestyle. And there are a lot of people sitting here thinking, oh, that's something for the future. But what would you like to say to those, especially thinking like that?
I think it's our biggest advantage. So I like to say that your youngest point from this point forward is today. So this is the youngest you're ever going to be from this point forward. And if you think about where we are societally, so the technological advances in the medical field, is improving our longevity. So we're able to live far longer than people 100 years ago did. And it's even said that the first person who will live to 200 has already been born.
Wow.
And it is rather unlikely that any of us will get through that time without experiencing an illness. Our ability to recover from it will depend on whether we're equipped financially to be able to experience those therapies, technologies, alternative treatments.
It's almost inevitable that at some point you're going to need a lean on it. And I think this last year has probably woken most of us up, or the last 2 years, 18 months or so. It's not just about reacting when something happens, about being preemptive, about having a good mindset when it comes to managing your money. You've got a rewards program tied into this approach. Can you tell us a bit more about that and what you're doing to help people just be a bit better about how we manage our financial profile, if you will?
Yeah. Financial well-being and financial security has always been seen as something for wealthy people, you know. So once you've become wealthy, and we talk about all these things like investment portfolios and, compound interest and all of those things that sound very intimidating. And what we've done is tried to take the sting out of that. And we're saying financial well-being is about taking small steps like understanding your money, budgeting, and even slightly bigger steps like just taking out the cover and the protection that you need.
Mitigating your risks.
Exactly, to take care of the things you don't want to think about. And the rewards program is designed to reward you and give you points that you can spend on a daily basis. So, you don't have to wait for some big event.
Yeah.
It's open to everybody, so it's completely free and it's open to everyone. You don't need to be an Old Mutual customer. You can sign up for rewards and earn rewards for making those right financial steps.
Oh, well, Priya and Nike, thank you for giving us the wake-up call we needed. I think that was quite enlightening, especially with, everything going on. Illness can strike. I mean, cancer is something that doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone. So thank you for that.
Thank you, guys.
I think there is an opportunity, as much as we don't want to think about these things, there is an opportunity to protect yourself. So plan ahead, protect yourself, and ultimately protect your family from those unexpected costs in the event of a severe illness. And to find out more about Old Mutual's illness insurance, you can speak to your financial advisor. And if you don't have an advisor, fear not, you can just simply call 0860606060 or visit any of the Old Mutual branches. And alternatively, you can go online and check out oldmutual.co.za/illness for more information. And I really suggest that you do.
Old Mutual's illness insurance pays out a single amount of up to 6 million rand for whatever you and your family might need while you recover.